Good afternoon, family. It is February 8th, 2000 or February 9th, 2022. I got to update my notes. Good morning. Good afternoon, family. It is February 9th, 2022. If you're new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of achieving a healthy weight. If you guys do enjoy the content, make sure that you do subscribe to the channel. Click on the bell icon so you can get alerted when I go live, which is usually weekdays at 4 p.m. And then if you'd like to participate, you can join me on those live streams. You can also join us on our Discord. There's a link for that down in the description below. And then we do get asked a lot of times what we eat. And so we created a Pinterest board that has a lot of our favorite recipes and meals on it. So that is also down in the description below here. Give me 1 second, guys. Scroll. All right, family. It is Weigh In Wednesday. Hello, Anthony. I hope you had a great day. It is day 466 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. Quick recap. So I started this challenge on November 1st, 2020, and I weighed in at an astonishing 519.8 pounds. Last week, I had a little over a half-pound loss, and that put me currently at 320.8. So that brings my total weight loss to date to exactly 199 pounds. I'm getting so close to that 199-pound mark. I'm going to go ahead and hop on the scale and see how I did this week. 320.4 pounds. That is awesome. So about a half a pound of loss since last week. Let me update this here real quick and easy to update that and then switch over here. So 320.4, 0.4 of a pound loss. We're going to call it a half pound loss. I'll say that I only lost a half pound last week and I lost a half pound this. So over the last 2 weeks, I've lost 2 pounds. Or sorry, for the last 2 weeks, I've lost 1 pound. Forget the math. Um, so can reaching 200 pounds again, 200 pounds lost taught me anymore at this point. So last week, just kind of a recap of, or to go over how my diet was and kind of what caused the loss this week, or, last week after the weigh-in. Really, our diet was good on Wednesday and Thursday. Friday morning even was still good. We had our oatmeal as normal, but then Friday evening and Saturday, things got a little out of hand. We celebrated a family birthday, and I did limit the amount of indulging that I did on Friday. I've definitely eaten more than I did on Friday night. But the difficulty was that it kind of creeped over into Saturday, and then really, Saturday the meals were better, but I still had some snacking. Sunday I was really back on track, but I'm pretty sure there was a few tortilla chips thrown in there somewhere. Um, but then Monday I kind of really buckled down again, knew that I needed to focus on it so that I would not have a horrible gain for the week. And so Monday had oatmeal in the morning, had a real simple dinner, just shredded wheat and toast with peanut butter. Tuesday, I think I skipped breakfast Tuesday, but I ate dinner last night. I wasn't sure if I was going to fast through the night. I got home. Carrie had made these waffles that she's been making that are compliant for our whole food plant-based SOS free diet. So I did have one of those last night, but I fasted this morning. So and when I say fasted, I got to clarify that I have been having juice. So I'm juice fasted. I've had some cherry juice, some orange juice in the last couple days. So I'm really happy to lose a half pound because I did have those treats for the birthday party, and eh, and I was really worried. Monday when I got in here, I was a couple pounds up. So to get that weight off, it's great. Carrie's saying that she's impressed after the weekend we had. Yes, I'm very surprised too. I was very happy to see that number on the scale. And then Anthony saying congratulations too. Thanks, Anthony. And thanks everybody for all the support that you've been giving me. It really helps, keeps me on track and accountable and wanting to get on here and have a loss every week. If I wasn't accountable to you guys, I don't know where I definitely wouldn't be where I'm at now. And I would have not been able to keep going. I might have been able to do this for a few months, but I wouldn't have been able to keep going. So I really appreciate all your guys' support and following along with this. And speaking of that, if you want to follow along, make sure you're subscribed so you can keep up to date on how I'm doing with my weight loss progress. So we're gonna switch over here to our regularly scheduled program. I am very happy with the half pound weight loss. You guys don't know how much I was stressing about that this week, just because it's been it seems like there's something every weekend, some reason to go out to eat or to get off diet every single weekend. I gotta move something in my way. And I wanted to avoid it last weekend, but at the same time, like yeah, it's hard to avoid it all, and we're not, I've said it before, we're not dieting in a vacuum. We don't live in a vacuum. If we did and we could control all of the environment around us, that would be great, but we don't. We have things that come up. We have things that test us, and I am finding a balance. I mean, the big thing is I didn't gain weight. I really thought for the last 3 days I'd be sitting here trying to explain why I gained weight. So I'm happy to have not gained weight. And it really I didn't get as sidetracked as I thought. I really thought this weekend messed things up, and it slowed things down. I could have had maybe a couple pound weight loss, or a pound, might have lost a little bit more, but I'm happy with it. So let me get into this here. Do you guys have any non-scale victories you want to share? Any scale victories? I'd love to hear from you guys. Love to hear how you guys are doing on your diets. What are you doing if you're falling off the wagon? What are you doing to get back on track? And I don't have much to talk about with food. Like I said last night, I had waffles. This is all queued up already. I can probably just do this quick. So this was how elaborate my dinner was last night here. So that was the extent of dinner last night. That was the waffle that Carrie made, and then I have some maple syrup in there. I didn't want to do too many calories, so I didn't put any berries on it. I don't think it would have affected me too much, but I might not have lost that half a pound had I had berries on there. But those waffles are awesome. I don't know if Carrie has those in our Pinterest board, but they were a recipe that she got from Rip Esselstyn's cookbook. He has a cookbook, and that was a recipe that I think that they had a competition for, and it won the competition for I don't know if just breakfast or overall, but they're really good. They're great. They're filling. And like I said, they're whole food. They're SOS free, so can't really feel too guilty having them. And they're weight loss waffles. I lost like 3 pounds eating that waffle from yesterday. I don't know that they're magical waffles. So I keep looking at down here like it's there. That is a magical waffle. So Carrie says that she will share the recipe for these waffles on the Discord after the stream. That would be awesome. So if anybody wants the recipe for the magical 3 pound weight loss waffle, you can find that on the Discord. Results may vary. I can't guarantee that you'll lose 3 pounds, but it worked for me. um, yeah, so that was awesome. Last night, let's see, today I finished the book Salt, Sugar, Fat, or Sugar, Salt, Fat. What is it? Salt, Sugar, Fat, I think. I have it somewhere written down. Um, I finished the book by Michael Moss. Really liked the book. This is 100% the information that I have been interested to find out. It's really awesome the access that he was given because um as crazy as it is, a lot of these people that used to be part of this industry don't necessarily like it anymore. And he talks about how there's a few people that were influential in the products that we see and the food that we eat that don't eat the foods that they created or the products that they were pioneers of because they know that there's better choices than those foods. And the so yeah, again, if you get a chance to check out the book, I would recommend it. It will probably make you um question things when you go into the grocery store. The book has a long epilogue at the end of it, and that that epilogue is just really a good summation of the whole book. And he talks about a lot of things, but really, and there's so much that the book goes over. It's like a 14-hour audio book. But one of the things or the takeaways that I feel like I took from it are one is I really don't like salt, and I like it even less now. And it's weird how it's got this. It's it almost seems like salt is immune to criticism. Like can't you have to have salt. Everybody needs salt, more so than you need protein. Like even people that uh eat a whole food plant-based diet or eat a vegan diet, and they have to deal with where do you get your protein questions. I'm gonna have to figure out how to answer where do I get my sodium, because it's really not good what they're doing with the sodium. If you want to add sodium or salt to your own food, that is one thing. But these chemicals and these compounds they're creating, they're not things that would be found in nature. So your body doesn't know how to process them. And, and so then, but one of the takeaway from the book too is that there's a lot of deception going on. They're tricking you at the grocery store from the second you walk into the grocery store. And there can be subtle things and not so subtle things, but they've been doing it for years. I mean, as simple as just putting like one good ingredient on the front of the box. They've been doing that for decades. They've been doing that since the 20s and the 30s, the 1920s and the 1930s. They've been fortifying things with calcium or iron or whatever the nutrient that is hot right now is. But that was when they were doing that. That was decades before that they had to put in to the fine print, or they had to put any information about what else they were putting in there. You know what? It's a great source of calcium. Forget about the 4 cups of sugar that we put in there. Tablespoons would probably be a better forget about the 4 tablespoons of sugar that we put in there. Um, and then when you go to the grocery store, it's it's like you are in a battlefield with your because all these companies are fighting with each other because they want to take up what they call stomach share, which is the portion of your stomach that their food is in. They want their food to be in a bigger share of your stomach than anybody else. And um they do things that are real subtle. Like at the grocery store, there's music that's soft and they have this bakery smell that goes through the whole store. And they put the soft drink coolers by the checkouts and they have their profitable items and the things that are the most processed at your eye level, so you're looking at those. And then they put the whole grains and the flours and the rices, those are all on the bottom, and then produce is all off to the side, or it's like right when you go into the store. I think some of that too might be so that you pick up that produce on your way in and you have this mental, like, okay, I picked up my good stuff. This is my good food pile. And now I'm going to go into the store and buy my bad food pile. And it helps justify the later purchases of bad food because you have a bag of oranges. So I bought those apples. I can grab the Cheez Its. Um, and these things are, and we know it, that they engineered these things, these boxes, these displays to maximize our desire and to excite our kids and to excite the kid inside of us too, not just our kids. And the taste of the foods are so powerful that you remember them. You don't, like when you try something new, it's so strong that you're like, yes, I want that again. I know, I mean, I could name all kinds of candy bars that in my head I can exactly tell you what a caramello tastes like or a Kit Kat, because they're such a strong flavor. Um, and they use these calculated and perfected formulas that they've spent hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars on research to get you to buy it. And um the the salt, the sugar, and the fat, these are all the cheapest components in those foods. The salt and sugar and fat can be bought and be accessed with almost no cost in many ways. The fat that we had from the skim milk and that's why we have so much cheese now. Salt, they mine it everywhere. They've been doing it for 7,000 years, and so um you gotta, when you look at these products on the shelves, you have to see them for what they are. They're psychological tricks and they are marketing ploys, all designed for you to grab their box of chips over, or their bag of chips over the bag of chips right next to it. And um and they know that it's addictive. They One of the most popular ad campaigns ever in the history of chips is, I bet you can't eat just one. And it's because they're so addictive. It hits all of the senses, and they don't they don't have any limits. There's nobody stopping them from putting as much as they want. They The only thing that's keeping them from piling more sugar and more salt on these things is the taste. Because if there wasn't a bliss point, if there wasn't a point where it dropped off, where you didn't have, you put this much sugar in and it tastes great, but then you put one more granule in and it doesn't taste good anymore. If that didn't happen, they would keep piling the sugar on. And it doesn't happen with fat. And that's why all our foods have so much fat in them too. We don't have a bliss point for fat. So just when you go into the stores, guys, when you're buying your items, just be conscious that there's a lot going on before that product ever got put on the shelves. And if you can do anything for yourself, buy items from the produce section that don't have to have labels on them. If they're not required to have a label on them, then that means that they're a whole food, you know? And then when they do have labels, look at the products, look at the items. He talked about Hot Pockets, and I'll share a Hot Pocket story one time. It's a little embarrassing, but uh, they have over 100 ingredients in some flavors of Hot Pocket. 100 ingredients. That's amazing. Um, and and also something that I think you can do to help, something you can do that has become available to us now is to shop online, to not go into the store. If you don't have the willpower not to grab it, if you don't think you can control yourself not to buy that junk food or to treat yourself to that soda as you're checking out because you got a cart full of health food, and why not grab a Coke, right? If you can't do that, look into online shopping. It's amazing that you can order all this stuff. You can drive up to the store, they'll put it in your car for you. You do have to sacrifice a little bit if you're having them pick your vegetables. But if that's what you have to do to avoid the temptation, then do it. If you can go into the store and just go to the produce, just go right to that section, buy what you need, and then go to the checkout, do that. It's when you wander through the store and you start throwing things in your cart that you end up with a bunch of crap. Um, so, so yeah, guys, that's what I would recommend. Look into grocery shopping online, and give yourself a list too. Stick to a list. Don't defer from that. Anthony's here saying, yeah, it's pretty bad. It hits the pleasure button. Um, Sugar is bad, but high fructose syrup is much worse. Yes. I didn't realize, and I don't know all of the components of there's glucose, sucrose, and fructose, I believe is what they are. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that the I believe it's glucose is the main molecule of sugar, and it is made up of sucrose and fructose. And I might be getting the glucose and the sucrose mixed up, but I know that I'm not getting the fructose mixed up. But anyways, one of them is less sweet than the other. So in the example I'm giving, sucrose is less sweet than glucose. Like sucrose on its own is less sweet than glucose. But fructose on its own then has to be much sweeter to counteract the fact that sucrose is less sweet. So like 170% more sweet, 170% sweeter than regular sugar. So yes, avoid the fructose as much as possible. And then Foss speaks the truth. Yes, this is what I have to do. Yeah, Carrie has to go do yeah, that Carrie does the online grocery shopping, and that helps us a lot. And it also helps us keep kind of the regular things in the house too, because it has reminders and you have your old list so you can look at and say, oh, I need to get more of this juice, or I need to get these nuts or these seeds or rice. And It's really nice. And a lot of stores have the option now to do online grocery pickup. You can use Instacart to order. We use that at a few different grocery stores. So definitely look into it, and just be aware, that when you're going into these stores, it is a mental minefield that they got. Every single right. Okay. There is nothing accidental at the grocery store. There's nothing that is accidentally on this shelf or accidentally put on this location. Everything is down to the square inch. They have planograms. They have it all formulated so that it is a well-run machine. So just do your best, guys. Let me see if I have anything else here today. I I did post a video. If you guys get a chance, it was a little bit of yesterday's rant. Kind of cut it up and just made, I don't know, a little bit of a motivational speech from a couple of the parts from that. So if you get a chance, go over and check that out. Give that video a like. Carrie says that her produce from online shopping is usually decent. Maybe we've just been lucky. Yeah. I mean, overall, these grocery stores have to put out a product that people are gonna purchase. And they also know too that if they're picking your produce and they pick bad produce, you are going to bitch about that. um you're gonna find a way to complain, especially if it's like a whole bag, like we've had where we've gotten oranges and maybe one of them had mold on it or something. But if it's like the whole bag, then you're gonna complain about it, and they don't want that because they want you to continue shopping. They might like you to come in and shop, I guess, now that things are different. But anyways, um I am gonna get out of here, guys. I'm really happy with the weigh-in. I'm excited to go home and have a big bowl of food tonight. I'm not sure what we're having, but it'll be great. No matter what we have, I have to figure out how to pull out the weigh-in from this live stream, which is super cool because I didn't record this video separate. So if anybody has any advice on YouTube how to do that, that's cool. But I am just going to check my notes, make sure that I got everything that I wanted to talk about. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, make sure that you do get subscribed to the channel. Click on that bell icon, turn on notifications so you'll get alerted when I post videos or when I go live, which is usually weekdays at 4 p.m. There is a link below for a Discord. That is a great place for you guys to go on and kind of let me know how things are going for you and what your goals are. I also do post food photos and kind of other updates of my progress on the Discord as well. And then we do get asked a lot about the different food that we eat. So down in the description below, we've created a Pinterest board that has a lot of the recipes that we enjoy. I did mention the Discord. Carrie's gonna post the waffle recipe on the Discord if she hasn't already. She says we're having sweet potato and rice casserole thingy for dinner. I like it when they're thingies. We're having thingies for dinner. So you guys all have a great evening. If you haven't started your diet yet, get started right now. There's no reason to wait. Don't delay. Nobody reaches their goal and wishes they would have waited to start. Every single person gets to their goal and says, I wish I would have started sooner. I wish I would have known how good I was going to feel. I wish I knew how bad I was. I wish I knew how bad it was. Don't fall for the myth of moderation, guys. The first myth, the myth of moderate change, that you're going to start waking up and walking a little bit in the morning and counting my calories a little bit and kind of get rid of sugar, or get rid of fat, or like maybe I'll skip meat in a meal. I'll do meatless Mondays. Those things work a little bit. It's great to get an idea of things you can do, but if you're committed to making a change, you're gonna have to make a big change. If you're 520 pounds, there's nothing about your diet that is worth holding on to. Get rid of all of it. It's all junk. There's nothing to hold on to. Unless you eat the celery after you ate all your buffalo wings, then maybe. But you have to change everything because that's what has to happen. You can't just cut out one thing and then all of a sudden you're going to be at your healthy weight. You have to make big changes. And there's also the myth of moderate consumption. We are creatures that are designed to eat as much food as we can get our hands on. And if you're going to fight yourself every single day to not eat, to eat less, it's so tough. It's so tough. It tastes great to eat these high calorie foods, but you need to change the calorie density of the food that you're eating. You need to eat lower calorie dense foods so that you can have a higher volume, that you get satisfied with fewer calories, and you don't even have to count calories that way. It just happens naturally. Your body won't let you eat more than the calories your body needs when you're eating a low calorie dense, high nutrient diet. Get started now, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. Back on tomorrow.